In the serene surroundings of his Los Angeles home on January 4, 2026, the world bid a quiet farewell to Michael Reagan, the eldest son of President Ronald Reagan, at the age of 80. People.com. Ronald Reagan's son Michael Reagan dies at 80. Surrounded by his loving family, Michael passed peacefully after a private battle with cancer, a fight he faced with the same grace and conviction that defined his life. There was no crash, no sudden tragedy in the public eye. Just the gentle close of a chapter for a man who spent decades as a steadfast guardian of his father's legacy, a devoted conservative voice on radio waves, and a family man whose greatest joys were far from the spotlight. As tributes flood in from across the political spectrum, honoring his role as a talk show host, author, and philanthropist, let's reflect on Michael's extraordinary journey. From an adopted child in Hollywood's golden era to a prominent figure in his own right. Celebrating the wife who stood by him, the children and grandchildren who were his world, the comfortable lifestyle he built, and the enduring impact of a life lived with purpose and heart. Michael Edward Reagan was born on March 18, 1945, in Los Angeles, to a young unmarried woman named Irene Flower, and just hours later, he was adopted by rising actor Ronald Reagan and his first wife, the acclaimed actress Jane Wyman. People.com. Ronald Reagan's son Michael on dad's tax promise to bump his allowance. Renamed Michael, he grew up in the glow of his parents' fame, though their marriage ended in divorce when he was just 3. Life with his father and stepmother Nancy Davis Reagan brought moments of warmth amid the bustle of Hollywood and later politics, but Michael often spoke candidly about the challenges of childhood in such a public family, including experiences that shaped his resilience. As Ronald Reagan rose to governor and then president, Michael forged his own path, attending boarding school and later Arizona State University before finding his voice in media and conservatism. Michael's career took flight in the world of broadcasting and commentary. He hosted a nationally syndicated radio talk show for decades, offering sharp insights on politics, culture, and family values with a style that echoed his father's optimism but carried his own personal touch. Michael Reagan, eldest son of President Ronald Reagan, dies at 80. As a sought-after public speaker, he traveled the country sharing stories of faith, freedom, and his dad's enduring principles. He authored several books, including heartfelt memoirs like On the Outside Looking In, where he reflected on adoption, family dynamics, and personal growth. Michael also championed causes close to his heart, serving on boards for Alzheimer's research, inspired by his father's struggle, and raising funds through powerboat racing in his earlier years. It's moving to consider how he turned personal trials into platforms for good, becoming a voice for adoption awareness and conservative ideals while always pointing back to the Reagan legacy with pride and humility. At the heart of Michael's life was his family, the anchor that kept him grounded through fame's ups and downs. He married twice. First to Pamela Putnam in 1971, with whom he had son Cameron and daughter Ashley, though the marriage ended in divorce. In 2009, he found lasting happiness with Colleen Stearns, his devoted wife who brought stability and joy to his later years. People.com. Ronald Reagan's son Michael Reagan dies at 80. Colleen stood by him through health challenges and public life, a partner in every sense. Michael adored being a father and grandfather, often sharing how Cameron and Ashley and their own children filled his days with laughter and love. In his final moments, surrounded by Colleen, his kids, and grandkids, that family circle provided the peace he deserved. It's profoundly emotional to think of this man, who knew the weight of a presidential name, finding his truest fulfillment in the simple title of Dad and Grandpa. Michael's lifestyle reflected a blend of comfort and conviction, rooted in California, where he lived in a welcoming home that hosted family gatherings and quiet evenings. He enjoyed the rewards of his career, travel for speaking engagements, time on the water from his boating days, but remained approachable, faith-driven, and family-focused. A devout Christian, he often spoke of gratitude and grace, balancing media demands with personal reflection. His success as a radio host, author, and speaker built an estimated net worth in the range of several $1 million, earned through syndication deals, book sales, and appearances. A legacy of hard work that ensured security for his loved ones without extravagance. The announcement of Michael's passing, delayed until January 6th out of respect for privacy, has brought an outpouring of remembrance. The Reagan Foundation called him a steadfast guardian of his father's ideals, while friends and listeners mourn a voice that felt like family. Though cancer claimed him after a courageous battle, his spirit, optimistic, faithful, and fiercely loving, lives on. As we close this tribute to Michael Reagan at 80, a son, husband, father, grandfather, and proud bearer of a historic name, his life reminds us to embrace our stories, fight for our beliefs, and hold family closest. Thank you, Michael, for your voice, your heart, and the light you carried forward. Rest in peace. If this reflection on Michael's life touched you or stirred memories of the Reagan era, please like the video and subscribe for more heartfelt biographies honoring those who've shaped our world. Your support means so much. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next one.